What is up, Team Happy and Fit and guests? Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. Our Tuesdays are all about best practices and connecting with the team. I honestly think that jumping on calls are important. One, for connection. You're a part of a real business. You're a part of a real community. And the more live events you go to, the more calls that you incorporate, I think that it gives you more belief into what we're doing. And I just appreciate you spending your Tuesday night with me. When I first started this, and I still continue, I jump on mentoring calls as well. I just try to absorb and learn. And I was just having a call with Brittany, and I'm going to have her unmute in a second. But I was telling her this, and we can see how it spoke to her. But I was listening to a podcast this week, and he was talking about, and it made so much sense to me, where he said it's not belief, it's action cultivates more belief. And I thought about that, where when I first started my journey, I did my first challenge group and I lost 7 pounds in my first week. And what did that do? That completely connected belief to this journey. And so then I wanted to continue on it. And so then when I showed up again, and then I started to get more results, then it started creating more belief. And then when I helped my first person and then they got results, that created more belief into the compensation plan of, oh, wait a second. When I help someone, if I make it less about me, more about them, get them results, it's going to make me have more belief into what I'm doing. It's kind of the same thing with quitting my job was so flipping scary, because there's a lot of risk in doing that. If you play into scarcity, that's such a real thing. We have no one's, by no one's, we have like 10 people with their video on and a lot more without. So if you guys could turn on your video, that'd be so awesome. Even if you're out and about, it's cool. I just want to see you. I feed off of your energy. So thanks for those of you who have your video on. I know if you can't, I get it. But I love seeing you, and I feel like I'm with you in person, if that makes sense. It's hard talking to just a screen. And like Turner, your head nods, feeling it, sister. But even when I quit my job, I was like, whew, this is so scary, right? There's risks to that. So what I had to do is take action. When I started taking more action when I quit my job, it started giving me more results. And then when I was getting more results, it grew my belief into what I was doing, even if it was a little bit scary, right? And that was the year we went elite for the very first time. And it was all because of the action I was taking that was creating more belief in what we were doing, and just started to circulate. Because let me tell you this, there is defeat in this business. There's defeat based on ghosting, people quitting, you may be gaining weight. What the heck? That's not supposed to happen on your journey, right? When you're in a funk, like that stuff is so real, you guys. And you have to take action in order to get through that, to create more belief in this. If you're wanting to build a business, you need to help people and you get paid, and then you're going to be like, this is creating more belief that I could actually make money in this. You actually have to take the action to do that. So Brittany, can you just share and unmute a little bit about our one-on-one, maybe where you were at, the wake-up call you had, and the epiphany of what you're going to do?
Absolutely. And this might be a little uncensored, so I'm not going to apologize. I'm just going to tell you to deal with it. It is what it is. First off, if you need somebody to like grab your heart and fucking rip it through your gut and just yank both of them at the same time, Julianne is your girl. Had a one-on-one. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I'm sitting here and we're like, hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? Oh, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then she just sits back and goes, all right, so what are we doing here? Like, what do you want out of this? And I was like, oh, we're going right there. All right. And literally she saw the scarcity mindset that I was being sucked into, that I was allowing myself to suck into, right all over my face. Called it right out of me. And then we spent 45 minutes talking about how to work on belief. And I realized that I had it backwards. I kept, and I have for the last year now, been telling myself that you got to believe, and your belief will help you take action. And 100% the opposite. You have to take the action, which will then develop results, which will then increase your belief, which will then help you take more action, and so on and so forth. But it has to start with action. And the scarcity mindset, the more I think about it, and one of the big things we talk about, Jonathan's family is super big, like corporate America, the whole deal. And that's great. That's totally awesome. But I'm 28 and I'm so tired of building somebody else's dream for them. Like, I have no interest in batteries, HVAC, or security. Let's just get that out of the way. But yes, Maddie. But sitting there and feeding into the fear that there's no safety net. And Julianne just kind of helped me realize, there's no safety net anywhere. Like, I could show up tomorrow, my job could be gone. Well, guess what? The same thing could happen anywhere. And that happens regardless if you do Beachbody full time or if you do a regular 9-to-5 job full time. All of those risks are still there, and you just have to choose to move through your risks into the bigger belief. Julianne is she'll be the biggest believer you've ever met. She's got the biggest hustle, I think, of anybody, even on Team Rockstar Fit, if not some of the top coaches. And the atmosphere that she's freaking creating in this team is what's putting this team on the map 100%. And the fact that she was able to look at me and call out exactly what my problem was. She just did it without even, there was like 2 words, and she just knew what the issue was. She's a great leader. And if y'all are not talking to her, then you're fucking up.
I wasn't expecting that, and teared up a little bit. I think the point in this, you guys, is that every time I go to Dunkirk, New York, I get into my aunt's car and she's like, so what are you going to do when Beachbody crumbles? I'm like, hey, good to see you. It's been a year. I hope you're doing well. And there's people that breathe this scarcity into you of the risks that you take in life. Right. And I have to be honest with you, when I first started, that is something that stirred in my heart. Could this last? Could this be real? Can this sustain? Like, what happens if Beachbody just goes away? And I remember having this internal conversation with myself and just thinking but all I have is right now. So I could play into that, or I could just act right now and just grow and just take that action and just get wins right now. Right. And so I have to tell you, that is why I'm very grateful for the live events that I get to go to, or the people that I get to surround myself with, because when you do, your belief in the vision of where Beachbody is going is unreal. That these aren't things that are being said yet, but the goal is to expand to 2 countries a year. And we're not even close to what the goal is. And what is something you need to pay attention to at this company is that when they're offering travel cash, when they're getting Rachel Hollis to come speak at Summit, they're so innovative. They're listening to the coaches, right? They listen to us. We'll say, hey, this is how we think we can help the compensation plan. This is what we think would help coaches get started right. We think that this is a deficit, not helping this system. The fact that they're doing the Make Your Mark, the way that you can earn prizes and things like that, or just certain things that they're doing, that we're $1 billion company that's been around for 20 years, but it's so innovative. And that belief increases when I surround myself in those rooms, when I'm hearing Carl talk, when I'm listening to Jeff Hill, when I'm on calls, when I'm doing that. And then I remember thinking a year into this business of, what would piss me off is knowing I would quit and watching everyone I started with have success in this. That actually makes me mad. And so that's what kept me around. And guess what? Now when I look back from when I started, I'm the only one here. I'm the only one here. And I can't help but think the person I signed up with, how's she feeling at her job when she looks where we're building this? Where I'm she could be that could have been me. It still could be. It's never over. But sometimes when we don't grow our mindset, we think that it is. But I have to tell you, if you play into the scarcity, I could read it on Brittany's. I literally did this. I sat back and I'm like, I know what her goals are. She keeps telling me, my goal's diamond, my goal's this. And I knew that. That's not what I was asking her. Do you believe that Beachbody could do this for you? I could read it. I could feel it because I've been there. I've been in her shoes before. And I said I couldn't lean on the scarcity of my aunt being like, what happens if like Beachbody's wiped, right? And you know what I say to her? One, I'll figure it out. Two, I would never take back the growth that I've experienced over these last 4.5 years. The person that I've become, the mindset that I have, the vision that I have, I could do it all over again. I could do this all over again if I had to. I'm not playing into that. I don't think that's going to happen at all. But man, if it were to happen, I'd be all right. I'd be all right because I know my life and what I want for it, and I'll hustle for it, right? I'll work hard. I have good work ethic. I have good vision. But man, the growth that I've experienced over these last few years, the risks that I've taken, the leaps that I've taken, it's stretched me, grown me, challenged me, has made me cry a lot, made me question a lot. But the breakthroughs that I've gotten through that, the people I've got to connect with, the accomplishments I've been able to see my mind push to, I'm just like, man, there's more in me. Like there's so much more in me. And if there's anything that Brittany and I can leave you with today, it's this. You have two options. You can play into scarcity. When you play into that, you don't take action. It completely diminishes your belief in everything, in yourself, in this company, in the team, in the actions that you don't take, in your self-care. It legitimately clouds you. It makes you play a safety net. I don't talk about this a lot. This is nothing on my agenda today, by the way. This is just me being Julianne. When I quit my job, Beachbody does not guarantee any kind of success. It's all based on your own skill, diligence, and hustle. Hopefully got that right. I got a full-time nanny offer. And I'm not saying this is what you have to do or don't do, but I remember I quit my job. Cara calls me and she says this, and it was so tempting. I was like, oh yes, like this is a way that I can still make money, guaranteed money, and take this leap. I was a brand new diamond coach and, didn't know what the heck I was doing. And yes. And then I was like, wait, this completely defeats the purpose of what I was doing. And so I said, Cara, thank you for the offer. I'm going to have to decline. And then I got to work. So some of you on this call are playing into scarcity and it's not serving you. I'm speaking to you today. Then there's some of you who aren't playing into scarcity and you have big goals for yourself. And you want to know something, when you have big goals, there's a lot of bricks that get piled on your freaking chest because there's deadlines. There's the stress of what happens if I don't hit it. How do I hit it, right? I remember saying last year, if we didn't hit a leap, my ego could take the hit, but I'm going all the way until that last day to know I fought every ounce to try. And I know at the end of the day, when I look back, I'll know I didn't quit before that deadline. And so if you are going for something, I just want to breathe that belief into you and just take massive action. And how do you take massive action? It shifts from what people can do for me, how they can fill my need, to how can I fill theirs. When you start thinking like that, your dreams come true. When you start thinking like that, the business that you want actually turns into the business that you didn't know that you could have. And so what I mean by that, instead of posting on social media with the intentions of who's coming with me today, or, oh, I'm launching this challenge group, who are the 3 people or 10 people that I'm going to help to get into this group, it shifts. How can I serve a need for a person that needs this? How can I massively serve them in my social media today, in my conversations today, in my follow-ups today? And when I serve them, I feel a need for them. I listen to what their needs are, and I have a solution for them. Then when I have that solution for them, I believe in them. And then you're looking at it, and then you're building a business. So we're either playing into scarcity, or we have this huge, massive goal that scares us. It should scare you. It should question, can I really do this? I remember writing down, I'm a 5-star elite coach. I'm a 5-star elite coach. I would have to convince myself that that's what I could do. I didn't quite believe it, but I took the actions to get me there. So there were times where I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen. I am a 5-star elite coach. I would look at it. I would say it. I would do it. the last week before qualification, called Sarah Morrison, I'm not going to hit it. She's like, yes, you are. You've gone this far. Okay, I qualified that night. And it was because I just took action on it. And I was like, I have got to fight for this. So whatever you're fighting for right now, I'm cheering for you, but it goes to how can you fill a need? You have a solution for it, and you need to speak of it. And you need to be authentic. You need to go beneath the surface. You can't just have it all together. You need to share in your mistakes. You need to share in your vulnerability. You need to share in your life circumstances. You don't have it all together. So take that filter off and really connect with people. They'll trust you. And then you can take them on this ride. So I'm going to go through a couple of different things with you today. I'm really excited to share a couple of highlights that I had at Super Saturday. But before I do that, my dog Wyatt, it has an Instagram. Go follow him. I'm just kidding, but he really does. He is so awesome, and he is a rescue. And I know this sounds crazy, but he teaches me a lot. And I think there's something, if you're not an animal person, that's fine. But there's just something about dogs and them always being super happy. Like it's like I'll be going to the bathroom and, well, he's usually there because he follows me everywhere. He's probably like a kid. Isn't that what a kid does? I can't have any alone time. But it's like if I walk away and he sees me and it's been 30 seconds, he is just like wiggling his little nubs so fast. Like he is just so loving, so excited to see me. He's so present. He loves each day, and he's just happy all the time. And I was thinking about it. He has setbacks. It's really frustrating. We'll go to a dog park and he'll literally do something really out of characteristic, or he'll have a moment where I feel completely defeated. I remember last year we were on a hike and he pretty much attacked a dog, and I just was like, what are we doing? Like, he is the worst. Like, he is not growing, like all this stuff. Then the next day we would go on a hike and it was perfect. And I was just thinking about, that's this business, you guys. There's going to be moments where you have it all together and things are smooth, like you're hitting all your goals. Let me tell you, when you're in qualification, your business falls apart. It's like, what in the actual hell is happening? Like, everything's been good. This person has been enrolled for 10 years. And then the one time we're in qualification, they're just done. Like, that, what? Like, it happens. And so it's like everything's going, and then there's going to be a setback. And that setback is going to make you question so many things. It's going to make you question, do I really have it in me to do this? It's going to question, am I a good leader? You're going to question, am I really setting up everybody for success? You're going to question, is this goal even worth it? You're going to question, like, am I being selfish? Like, there's so many factors in those setbacks that mess with you that can put you in a complete funk. Then you over course correct and you try to project all that worry through what you think is motivation of, come on, we're going to do this thing. It's going to be so great. And then no one wants to do it with you. So then you feel even more defeated, right? And if there's any piece of advice that I could give you is just like bless and release, and just trust this journey and just show up for yourself. If there's anything you can do, it's to be the best challenger in your quiet challenge group. If there's anything you can do, post every day in your challenge or in your team page when no one else does. If there's anything that I can teach you, is you work on your freaking mindset every single day. I loved it when Brittany said after we were about to close our conversation, and she said, Julianne, I need a book, and I right away. And I didn't give her any kind of BS kind of book. I would never recommend a book that didn't change my life, but I knew what she needed. The Obstacle is the Way, or Be Obsessed or Be Average. Like, hands down, those are the two books she needs to read. And she needs to read them, not listen to them. She needs to sit down, highlight them, and take notes. Let them absorb into her mind and her heart, because when we listen to things all the time, we multitask and we're not really letting it like set in, right? If you're struggling with leadership, The Power of Positive Leadership and Dare to Lead by Brene Brown, her brand new book, it's all on vulnerability. She's done so much data in growing organizations and helping leaders grow, and that's what I want to do, right? So that's how I'm investing in Britt. I love that. I love that you're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, the reason Brittany needs The Obstacle is the Way is because when those setbacks and obstacles happen, we think that we can't do it. We think that we don't have enough grit. We don't have resilience. Like, this isn't for me. Maybe I should do this instead. Maybe, no one's going to join me. This isn't, it's like, no, like, you're on the right track. If you guys think that this is just a straight up hill, you're tripping. There should be more setbacks. I know that's kind of like, we're a part of a really great business. I need to tell you that because it develops you. It develops you. When you see all these smiling, like, and this is, I don't follow coaches. I protect my energy because Instagram is one thing, but if there's anything I know that builds a business, it's hard work, it's grit, it's taking action, and it's keeping your blinders on. I'm not wavered. Stick in your truth, Julianne. Stay in your truth. You're not like that person. Stop trying to be like them. I've had to wrestle with that because I feel like I do things the unconventional way. I feel like I'm a boring, consistent leader, if that makes sense. I just do my thing. I don't have fancy equipment. I'm not against that. I just do my thing. People might question me. It's fine. I've had people question my leadership. You lead too much. Your hustle, no one can match that. Stop posting so much. My mom, why are you posting that? And I just have to stick my course and know my truth because I am filling needs of people. I'm searching for it. And then if you are the leader and you're a leader on this team and you have some coaches and you're like, no one's doing anything. There's anything I know that's gotten to me to where I am today. It's not with that kind of mindset. This is what I've had to do. I've had to sift through what is going good. Because if I'm just like looking at all the things that aren't going well, that's only what I pay attention to. And so as a leader, what I've had to do with the people that I've invested in is I've just had to look and be like, you know what? No, like I've noticed some leaders and I know they know. You don't need to go tell them that all their stuff's inactive. They know if they're trying to work this business, they know, right? But what I do see is this. I was even thinking like, Morgan Brill is such a good example, such an intentional freaking leader, solid. So glad to partner with her on this journey. And I get to be a part of what she's doing and I get to see it and it's so fun. And I just see her intentionality of like setting up one-on-ones, right? Like I'm like, yes, girl. Like that is so good with the way that she's doing that. And then I look at Morgan Schaefer and I'm in her team page. You know what she's doing? Freaking modeling. She's just modeling what she's doing. She's just sharing the resources that she's applying. I think of Erica, who has 3 small kids. They just moved into a new house. They're completely debt-free, by the way. How freaking cool is that, right? Raise the roof for Erica on that. So awesome. But her life, it's busy. You know what I see her modeling? How she fits this in. I see her modeling how she lives her life. I see her modeling how she gets in power hours and then missed it for a week. And she was like, she follows these power hours on YouTube. She's transparent. She admits her weaknesses. And sometimes when we admit that, that's where the most growth happens. Are you frustrated? You're stuck? Talk about that, right? And so I'm just blown away by your grit. I'm blown away by all of you who are on this call because you're hungry. You're hungry for something, and I need to tell you this business is simple. You hear it from every national wake-up call. There's nothing special about me is what they'll say, right? There's nothing special that I do. And I don't know why in our head that we're searching for the perfect script, the perfect team page, the perfect this. All it is this. You get really good at working on you when no one else believes in you. You get really good at working on you when no one else shows up. You get really good at being consistent and trust that and just have massive belief in people because you're taking action. And that action is going to result into ... right? And then don't be afraid to go for it. I was listening to a podcast and he was talking about we get comfortable with being good enough. We're good at hitting Success Club. We're good at helping a couple of coaches, and we just get reliant on that because it's easy. But I always think about this. What if I were to level up a little bit? What would happen if I actually did that? What am I so afraid of by leveling up? Maintaining it? Oh, that's an excuse I'm giving myself because I know I can figure it out. And so I'm just going to challenge you guys. What do you need to level up with? But you're playing into, I'm doing okay. Like I'm showing up. I'm doing the bare minimum essentially. Can we not be proud of that? Because if there's anything that I've known, it's that when we choose to grow hard, that is when we live our best lives. And it's so good. And also, for those of you pushing for Diamond, we have a Diamond retreat happening. Qualification is for Thursday morning. And Diamond, even if you've been a Diamond for a while, even if you've been a 1-star for a while, It's not the rank that makes you, it's the mindset. Even if you've been Emerald, and I'm going to straight up say this, if there are some coaches on this call that have not hit Emerald yet, your business is not alive. Your business starts at Emerald. I didn't understand that, and it's a freaking decision. You can get mad at me, and it's hard. You're before having 4 coaches, and the reason it's hard is you go Emerald, someone quits. You go Emerald, someone goes inactive. You're freaking defeated. So once you get past that like 4 coach mark, then you're going to see more belief in this. The belief is only generated by the action you take. So if you hit Emerald and you stop, dude, yeah, you're going to feel freaking defeated and not believe in this for sure, because you need to take more action. Then let's say you're an Emerald and you have 4 coaches. Let me tell you, keep on going, because it's just going to fuel more action. Then you hit Diamond and you're like, yes, I did it. Wham, done. That is not going to feel more belief. You have to level up and you deserve it. Do you believe that you do, right? And it's just choosing to understand that each benchmark that you place in this business for yourself, benchmarks. Let me tell you, arriving at 5-star elite, you're not going to feel any different. Like, your kid is still going to poop their diaper. You are going to have to work out that day. You are going to be grumpy. You're going to stub your toe. Like, something's going to happen, right? And for me, I mean, this is not funny, but I literally, the day I got a call from corporate that we hit elite, that's the day I had a miscarriage. Talk about like freaking punch to the freaking gut. You know, we're working so hard, and then get my call from corporate, and that's all I visualized with hitting elite. That's all I visualized. And then that's the day. Oh, right? Then I was in a freaking funk for like 4 or 5 months. And I'm like getting emotional thinking about that. It's hard to think about that moment, because you have an idealistic of what it's going to feel like, and then it doesn't really play into that. But the journey does. And the reason it's so important to level up is because the people that you've invested in level up too. That's why I'm like, we're going to be 10-star qual November 21st, baby. That type of level up fuels the belief from the action we take into what is possible. We don't play in the scarcity. If I wasn't leveling up, that wouldn't be fair to you. And for me, it's not hitting a rank, it's the mindset. One, I deserve it. Our team deserves it. And I think you should be saying the same thing I'm saying. I'm not saying it from an egotistical way. I'm saying it from a belief. I believe in this so much that I know that's what we can do. And please let me be that belief for you today, where you choosing to level up, it's not about being at that rank, because a lot of you will say, like, I don't care about rank, but I do. And the reason I do is because it shows other people what's possible. I do care about it because it doesn't make me, the journey did. But if I didn't set that goal, I wouldn't have gone on that journey. Me going on this journey has developed my character, my grit, my resilience, this team. It all started with me becoming a coach, choosing to go Emerald, and then wash, rinse, repeat. And then this. All because I chose that I can do that. I can figure it out. I'm going to put in the action to get there. And that's all it takes. And you're not going to hit it when you want all the time. We were 6-star quals sometime in the beginning of this year, and we didn't hit it, and we kept on breathing. We were all still alive, praise Jesus. And then we just got it done later, and then even went into 7-star qual. And it felt even better, right? It just felt better because we didn't quit and we didn't give up. And I see that a lot. I see coaches who go Emerald and then someone goes inactive because they didn't keep going. And then they're like, this doesn't work. See ya. What? No. Like, that's going to happen. You're not going to always hit your goals. You might be frustrated. You've been diamond for this ... I get it. But that kind of mindset and staying there isn't going to help you propel forward, right? So let's get that out. And you got to set a goal. You got to set a date. You may not hit it, but you have to understand. It's like that elite thing of like, I'm going to go all the way to the end knowing I've tried. And so it's kind of like this. With 10-star qual, November 21st, you guys were really close to it. Really close. I'm modeling what I'm doing, and I'm not waiting for anybody. So what am I doing? I'm helping new coaches get started. I'm getting people results. I'm hitting Success Club. I've created a marketing plan until February. So I can wait for this goal and for people to come along. And that's typically what a lot of coaches do, is they rely on the people that they have. I love all of you very much, but I understand you guys won't always match my pace or belief. Not saying you won't ever get there, but you're not always going to match it, because at the end it's happening to us, right? For me, this is my livelihood. Like, so I am going to view it in a different way, right? And I'm not going to project that onto you. This is our own journey, but I can't wait around. So I'm going to control what I can control. And that's me showing up. That's me modeling. That is me showing you guys what's possible, but me doing the work. So I'm doing the work. And that is so awesome to know that I'm not just like, okay, guys, like, what is everyone else doing? Actually, guys, here's what I've done. Let me show you. Let me be transparent with how I'm working my business right now. Take it or leave it. But I'm going over here, and you are more than welcome to come whenever you want. But I'm not going to stay right here. I'm going here. And I believe you can go wherever you want, but I have to keep on going. I'll always be here for you, but I'm going to keep on going, right? So if there's anything that I can give you, is it's really easy and tempting to wait around. And when we do that, we're compromising for the it's good enough. And then you have to think beyond, is not everybody's going to want to continue to do that. I heard something today, tell a story of weight. And that was from Kendra Hall in an email. Kendra Hall spoke at Leadership, and what she meant by that is talk about weight. Not necessarily your physical weight, but what's a weight on your shoulders, and tell a story about it. Tell a weight of shame that you've had, the weight of guilt that you've had. And when you story tell that, that's going to connect people to your journey. So what weight have you carried around? Jenna, you made me laugh when you're like, was I unmuted? Did you hear me yelling at my kids? I always think about that when Wyatt's like so good, and then we're at the dog park and he's not listening. And I'm like yelling and everyone's quiet. And I'm like, oh man, like he's not usually like this. You know, I'm like trying to like, he's good, you know, like, and then he's not listening and I have to like run after him. But that's like that story like resonated with me, is because I could feel that in my own life. But sharing that weight of like, oh, it's the worst when you have to like yell at your kid in front of everybody else. But if they weren't there, I still would yell at them anyway. But share a weight that you carry or a thought that you have, and it doesn't have to be always serious, but it just resonates with other people. We have to transition from I want this to work to I need this to work. When you change that, the action you take changes. From I want this to work to I need this to work. And why do you need this to work? That's going to look different for all of us. And then you'll always have fear when you make it about what you get from this. There'll be fear with that. Because what if I don't get it? What if not everybody wants it like I do? What if, you know, I want to get this, but what if I can't maintain that? There's going to be a scarcity with that. So turn it into what can you give? And anytime that I have felt scarcity in this, messes with me too, you guys. It does. And the way that I get through it is, what can I give? How can I show up today with character? How can I show up with love? How can I show up to be the best leader when I don't always feel like it? How can I show up authentic even when I'm tempted to not? Because let me tell you, in a clouded world of social media, it is so hard, and it can mess with your soul, and it can mess with your heart, and it can mess with your mind, thinking you need to be like somebody else in order to get whatever it is that you want. But that's what creates the fear. Do you get what I'm saying? When you're making about what you can get, you have to think you have to be like them, but oh my gosh, I can't, and all that fear. What can I give? How can I connect today is going to minimize that fear that you have, that your Instagram's not good enough, right? That I don't get enough likes, that this challenge group is going to be a flop, that I don't know how to bring on coaches, I don't know how to mentor. I haven't gotten a Challenger results ever, right? Like that, like when you make it about what you can give, it changes. And what you should give is just massive belief in other people's potential and calling them out on their fears and insecurities because you once lived that life, and that's how you connect them. And then your number one mission is, how do I get them results? Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, believing in someone. Could you imagine going to a laughless job every day? Do you know how many people go to laughless jobs? What if you could be that source of connection for someone, and you bring them to a community where you guys laugh and build up each other, and you celebrate each other, and you encourage each other? And I'm sure the moms on this call, you're just swimming in doubt sometimes, like questioning everything all the time of, am I being a good mom? Like, oh my gosh. I think what's heartbreaking for me with moms is when their kids start to go to school, and Jenna, actually this was a post you had in my heart just as a teacher. I was like, oh, when I think it was a sweater, your son came home and he said he couldn't wear that sweater. I read that post and it literally like crushed my soul. We got to talk about that, and we've got to get moms in groups, guys, that just breathe belief into that they're doing a good enough job because they love their kid. We cannot control the outside world, but if you could just be a house full of love, a house full of laughter, a house full of self-care, that's enough. But I don't think people know that can be a thing because they're just swimming in life. But I think I was talking to Morgan Brill. I was like, how cool is it that Liv gets to watch you work out every day? She's a little baby, but you're not going to stop when she's 1. You're not going to stop when she's 2. Like, this is something that she's going to continue to see, but she's seen her whole life. She's not going to know any different. She's going to think all moms work out. And that's most definitely not the case. But what's Liv going to live her life like? Healthy. That's all she knows. That's powerful. We've got to get more mamas to understand that this is so not just about us and our busy, and we're stressed and we have multiple kids, and we have all this stuff, and like whatever, I have to serve my kids all the time. It's like, no, you are serving your kids by doing self-care, because the impact this is going to make on the generations is limitless. And I think about that. I was telling Brittany that I had a memory today pop up of in high school when I went to go flip on. No, actually, I didn't go flip on the switch. I turned in on my straightener, and it wasn't working. Went to go flip up the switch. Electricity was shut off. It was a regular thing in my house. I'm all right. The risk that I've taken, the life that I live, if my electricity is on, I'm okay. If Wyatt has food and he gets to do Zoomies and he's with us all day, we're okay. All that extra stuff, like, it'll work out because it always does, but I'm okay. How can we get people to think like that instead of swimming in all the stuff? And my point to this is, that's what you get to serve. You find a need. You find out what the world is trying to live like, and you show them, actually, a job isn't only meaningful when it's stressful. Actually, you can be happy and less stressed and exhausted at your job to make it meaningful. For me, if I was exhausted, burnt out, and overwhelmed, I was doing my job as a teacher, sacrificing all self-care. I'm a good teacher. No. And now I get to teach teachers that, which is awesome. I don't even know what time it is. Okay, I got 15 minutes. Okay, so Super Saturday. One of Brittany Frost's coach came, and she spoke, and she's a new coach. She's been a coach for 5 months. She's a success starter. Her first month, she got SC10. Her second month, she got SC18. And then her third month, she got SC20. Mom of 2 who did that. And then her fourth month didn't hit Success Club, but she got the $100 from Carl. And then I think she hit Success Club this month. I think there's an important factor in this. Sweet, you've signed up 10 coaches. This is what Trina would say. Sweet, you've signed up 10 coaches. Let me know how you feel when 3 of them quit. Are you going to stick around? That's kind of how I feel in this business. Awesome. You're having so much success. Like, come at me when like no one shows up. What are you going to do about it? Because I've been there and I've had to pick up the pieces. I've had to get myself out of bed. When a life circumstance hit, man, coaches are like crushing it. What happens when there's a loss in your family? How much do you believe in this now? Because for me, this has been my outlet to vulnerability when life has been hard, not my excuse not to show up. When I had my miscarriage, this self-care journey got me out of bed every freaking day. And I look back now and I'm like, it was hard either way, but I would have dug myself in a deeper hole if I wouldn't have shown up for myself, shown up with personal development, showed up to the team. I led a call every freaking week, even though maybe 30 minutes before I completely cried my eyes out. I showed up. Show me. You're going to show up when life gets hard. You're going to show up when you lose your rank. Are you going to show up when you have a diamond coach quit? When are you going to show up? Because that's like exactly who I want to work with. Instead of being like, it's hard, my schedule's crazy, I don't know if this is for me, I stopped my, I don't know, whatever. But I'm like, no, like you're on the right track. You just have to figure it out and trust that process. So anyway, I thought it was cool that Lindsay was a success starter in Miss Success Club. That was my point, is I was like, I'm listening because she's here and she's presenting. She didn't quit. Most people would have. I'm ready to take notes, and I did. She delivered. It was super good. Her talk was on how to achieve early wins. Who is this speaking to tonight? This is speaking to a new coach that's on tonight, and this is speaking to a leader that's on this call to help a new coach get started right? This is helping the coach who is the comeback kid who's been off the grid for 5 months and you're ready to go. Let's act like a success starter today. Let's hit Success Club the next 3 months. Diamonds and below, if you hit Success Club this month, next month, and next month, you get travel cash for Summit. How about we act like success starters right now, regardless if you've been in this business as long as me or if you just signed up today. What success starters? You hit Success Club 3 months in a row. That's SC5. At least it should be really 6. And that is 3 challenge packs. Essentially how you got started. Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology. So this is how you achieve early wins. Number 1, run a challenge group. She did not run a group with Brittany. She ran her own. Oh man, I'm running some challenge groups with coaches right now, and that's on me because I asked and I want to continue to do that. But let me tell you this, when I first got started, I ran my own group. I had never been a part of a group before. Legit. I didn't even know what a challenge group was, but I was like, I'll run one. And I lost 7 pounds. And I didn't hit Success Club. I think it might have been quiet, but I was my best challenger and I lost 7 pounds. That's a win, right? She ran a challenge group. So she said, be a participant first and a coach second. I don't know about all you guys, but I want to be a leader of a team and not a coach of a challenge group. I want to be the best participant and believe in other people and get them results. But where I want to spend most of my coaching time is investing in a team. So I think the way we can run challenge groups is if you can just have like your journey on lock, be transparent with that, that's good. And obviously setting up the group, having content, but like pouring into it with your self-care and encouraging others. But like, I want to lead a team. That was my ultimate goal when I first started. She said, coach second. Branch out where you see a need. So that need could be the busy woman lifestyle. That could be the new mom boot camp, right? Like, you know how that life goes, like the sleepless nights, right? So like, how could you run a group for them? Lean into resources. There are so many FAQs. There's so many, she said the back office has so much material back there. I love, the reason she's successful is because she's resourceful. She doesn't wait around for anyone to answer anything for her. She goes to Google, she goes to the back office. And you guys, a lot of times when you're like, but where in the back office? You just go. You just log in and then you kind of like look around and kind of figure it out. You'll get there. Don't worry. Play into scarcity. So, and you know, where I'm having only 9 people and the cutoff day is tomorrow, play into that time factor as well. She said social proof matters. She talked about, I have real people doing this with me. So she would talk about the people who would join her, the people that would get results. She would talk about that it's not just me doing it, that I'm working with real people that are moms, nurses, teachers. They have really crazy lifestyles and schedules. They're this, and this, and they're doing this with me, and they've lost 20 pounds. She said, number 2, know your why and share it. I think we know our whys, but we don't share it. She said, share it and live it. She said, what do I stand for? And where am I making a difference in this world? So she would write down her why and say it every day, but she would also share it on social media, share it in her challenge groups, share it with the people she was talking with. Number 3, she said, get uncomfortable with social media. She said, inviting is uncomfortable, but you just need to start. So can we all like agree with that it wasn't just like this thing where like, this is so fun and exciting the first time we became a coach? Like there has been some fear in all of us at some point, but we just got over ourselves. And then we normalized it, and then now it's just what we do. Everyone has felt that way at some point. She said, put calls to action and then add value. And she posts her call to actions all the time. So call to action would be, it could be anything like, are you an overworked, busy teacher? I would love to get working with you, like drop an emoji below. Or, you know, like she just asked a question specifically of who she wants to get them to act on it. It could be on a story, message me, right? Swipe up. Transformations and stories sell. Transformations and stories sell. It helps people relate to the journey, and it helps people relate that this is a real thing and could help them as well. Number 4, prioritize your time. She says, know your pockets of time and show up every day. Have your power hours. She uses the Sloth app. That's what it's called, a Sloth. She said, make your social media efficient. So if she was on a walk and she was scrolling, she was like, okay, instead of scrolling, I could be starting 10 new conversations now. So she had to gut check herself with being efficient with her time. And then canned responses. She said that was the lifesaver, and she had this in her canned response, and I actually just put this in mine. So this is an action that I took from her, a new coach, you guys. We're all coachable. It doesn't matter how long you've been in this. This is why I love national wake-up calls. It's relevant. They're trying to help you. They're there. So she wrote, are you willing to invest in you? Money, time, energy, and participation. And so then if someone gives you a money objection after you've listed that in there, you'll be like, no. In this, you said you would be willing to invest in you. And they're going to be like, you're right. Or ignore you, but they might say you're right? So I added that question in my canned response. Number 5, she said, set bold goals. Map out goals in the present tense. I am a 5-star elite coach. I am a diamond coach. I am a leader of a thriving team that has engagement and energy. I am a business owner that makes $1,000 a week. Monthly focus on challenge groups and upcoming groups. So she maps everything out based on months ahead of time, if that makes sense, and then goes backwards. So she knows. So for example, I wrote this in the Coach Collaborative. My next group is November 12th. The group after that is December 10th, January 14th, and February 11th. And then she goes backwards with her goals weekly from that. So for me, that could be, I'm going to help 2 new challengers a week. I mean, it depends on what your goals are. It could be 2 new coaches a week. And some of you, your jaw would drop because we are doing the good enough thing. What if you elevated yourself and you were like 1 coach a week? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Then you should probably do that instead of playing good enough, right? Then she would weekly focus on content. So and then daily focus on the vitals and social media. So month challenge group, and then the weekly content, get that out. And then her daily focus was on the vitals and social media. And she would map out goals with her challenge group, then the content, and then what she needed to do each day. Number 6 is, I can't read my handwriting. Pick yourself back up is what she wrote. Don't you love that? Pick yourself back up. She said you'll have peaks and valleys. Pick yourself back up. It's just like brushing your teeth. You're not going to go multiple days without brushing your teeth. If you've missed brushing your teeth one morning, you're going to be like, I forgot to brush my teeth. So then what are you going to do? You're going to brush your teeth. And you brush your teeth every day. So with this business, we should show up every day. And if we miss it in the morning or get off track or do whatever, then you just course correct. You get back up. Every unique challenge allows you an opportunity to grow. Every unique challenge allows you an opportunity to grow. And she says she lives by the feel, felt, and found. So anytime there's a challenge with someone, the feel, felt, found. I hope I'm doing this right, but this is how you make a connection with someone is, oh, I hear how you're feeling. I have felt that too, and this is what I've found. That's awesome for leadership, you guys. If a coach comes to you struggling, you could be like, oh, like I feel that. That has to feel hard. Acknowledge their feel, right? That has to feel frustrating. I have felt frustrated by the same thing before, but this is how I have found with that. And this is what I did about it, right? Anything that struck you, you can unmute in this chat because we have 3 minutes. Anything stick out to you that you needed to hear? If you could unmute and not use the chat for that, holy moly of a chat. Anyone want to unmute? Y'all know how I feel about this. What spoke to you today? What did you need today?
My favorite thing was right at the beginning, like the thing that I needed to hear the most. And it was the more action equals more results equals more belief. I think it's so easy in this business to just be like, well, I believe in this and I believe that I can get there. But if you're not doing the action steps and you're not doing what it takes to do that, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And a lot of times I feel paralyzed when I'm frustrated. And then what do I want to do? I want to not work. And so it takes a lot of grit.
Right.
To just get it done.
Yeah. I think it also like, you're like, oh, well, if it happens, it happens. And like, you can't have that mindset. Like, I'm going to show up and that's what's going to allow it to happen. Like, it's just not going to just happen by itself.
Yeah. I want to be diamond. What are you doing? Britt, I hope this is okay for me to say, is that's been her goal. And my question was, hey, what are your coaching conversations like? And she gave me one example. And I said, what do you want for this? And that's when I literally just like went like this. And I said, if that's your goal, you would tell me 30 people. And she's like, we have to have a team call. I want to get to work. I was like, I love your tenacity. And so who was it? It was on a podcast and he was like, when someone tells me that they want to be a musician, oh, I want to do that someday. He'll be like, what have you done in the last 5 years that has helped you become a musician? And they'll be like, nothing. And he's like, you don't want it. So if someone tells me that they want to go diamond or they want to do this, I'll be like, okay, show me your tracker, show me your last conversations, and they don't have it. I'll be like, you don't really want it. Like you're saying you want it. And so we have to be able to pick that apart, you guys. If you want financial freedom for this, it's not just going to happen. If you want diamond, it's just not going to happen. You just make it work. Shout out to Kara and Amanda. This is what they're doing. They have a team. They're not waiting around. What are they doing? They're building their husband's account. Kara is like 3 coaches away from 2-star because she took action of they do want it, but I can't wait around. What can I do right now? Then when she opens up that second CBC, guess what she gets to do all over again? She gets to build her second CBC again. That's 3 streams of income, and she says she wants this financially. Hell yeah, she does, because that's what you do about it. So if you guys are wanting this, that was so good, Turner, is I have to take the action to do it. If you say you want diamond, but you can't tell me who your list of coaches you've been talking to, I've got you. I've got you. I've got you. I've got you. Right? I can tell you who I'm talking to. I want it. I want this. One last comment, one last epiphany, one last gut check, one last, I love this team. Go ahead and unmute. Did you need this today? Have you been playing it good enough? Have you been playing it good enough and you're like, oh, it's uncomfortable. I gotta do something. Unmute. Quiet bunch today. We got somebody in the house, right? Come on. Anybody? Something spoke to you that you needed to hear today? Quit being at Maddie, unmute yourself. Oh, Laramie, there, girl. I didn't know what to do.
I think what spoke to me the most was what you just said. It was a major gut check. If you want diamonds, you've got to show the work and show who you're talking to, and that's something that I can't show you, I guess. So yeah, it was a major gut check.
It's hard to hear. I think we all admit that. It's not fun being called out. It's not fun feeling like you're inadequate, and that's not I'm gonna meet you real fast. That is not even the goal. It's this, I said this to Brittany today. I said, this, if you don't want this, like, it's not on me. Like, this is not what I want for you. I see a lot of potential, but like, this is what you want. But if you're saying you want this, this is what it's going to require. If I said I wanted elite, there's no way it would just happen. Like, that takes grit. Like, that takes a lot of belief, and that just takes not quitting, and that takes showing up, right? So I am gonna stop the